Welcome back everybody to another video, and always thanks for watching. My name is Chris and this is Dice of Chaos Wargaming. Anyways, wanted to do a quick review on the Realm of Chaos, Wrath, and Rapture box set that was just released. This thing is just loaded full of models. If you're a long-time player, new-time player, you want to play Chaos, Demons, this is the way to go. It does give you rules for both 40k and Age of Sigmar. I'm not an Age of Sigmar player. Nobody that we're doing a lot of other videos with war games themselves, battle reports. We probably won't be doing anything when it comes to Age of Sigmar because neither one of us play us. We used to play the old fantasy version. We haven't started playing the newer version. Just a lot more rules to get into. Kind of play everything when it comes to 40k. Anyways, as armies goes, except for Advax and Sisters of Battle. Which the Sister of Battle thing might change once they finally actually release plastic models. To this guy, I know there's been a lot of reviews already out there. It does come with a ton of different models. They both come with a good HQ choice, along with 10 Bloodletters, 10 Demonettes, 3 Blood Crushers, 5 Seekers, 5 Flesh Hounds, and 3 Fiends. The biggest thing with this box that you're going to get out of it is going to be this guy here, and these guys up here, which are the Fiends. I'm going to open this thing and kind of let you see what they look like. I kind of peeked at the other day just to kind of get the thing to see what kind of rules you have. I'm just going to pull that Age of Sigmar stuff out of the way. There are new models for 40k and new models for Age of Sigmar. It does give you all the rules. It gives you the power level up top. Oops, over that. And in the back, it does go over the points. And depending on which way you play, depends on, if you play, power level. In some cases, that might be a huge advantage. In a lot of cases, it's not. Especially with the new chapter approved, because a lot of things went down in price, and it's sometimes more advantageous to go with one way or the other, depending on what army you play. I hate to say it, I both love and hate the Eldar, Yanari, or whatever. And really, power level seems to kind of help them a little bit when it comes to a lot of things, especially with a lot of their regular special units where points, they've really gone up. But this here is just the Blood Crushers themselves. They're really good. They're really fast. I will kind of briefly go over those rules. All the Bloodletters that you do get. You get 5 of these Seekers, which are actually pretty large models. I have the old metal ones. I haven't got any of the new ones because I had stopped playing Slanders. But they are significantly longer. I think the old ones are only about that big. These guys are a lot longer, and of course they fit on bases, but they're plastic and not metal, which is really cool. You do get these Flesh Hounds, which are also really cool. They'll be a lot of fun to paint. I'll do a quick video on how to do that real quick the way I paint. A lot of my stuff, especially when it comes to corn, is really dark. I base everything black and then kind of layer red on top of red on top of red. So it doesn't have that real flamey look like you see Games Workshop do. I'm going to go over these two guys. So here's the first guy. And he is just full of detail. And I'm going to tell you right now, I looked at the instructions. You really want to make sure you pay attention to what you're doing, because there's certain pieces you want to make sure you really get, you fit them in right before you actually glue them into place. Otherwise, they're not going to sit right, and then you're trying to fix it afterwards. The Slanesh Herald, real similar. You're really going to want to make sure there's a lot of little parts. Be really careful when you clip everything out so you actually don't ruin them. Right here is just another box of Demonettes. There's 10 of them. They're all pretty simple to put together. Out of everything, I hate to say, I actually like the old metal ones better than the plastic ones. Mostly because they had like a regular hand on one side generally with a knife versus just having nothing but claws. It's kind of the way I look at it. This here is one of the big savers you get in the box set. You get 3 of these Fiends. Currently, I think this is the only way you can get them. I don't think you can get them any other way. But if they're going to be anything like, I doubt they'll be as cheap as a Blood Crusher box set. They're probably going to be more like the Beast of Nurgle box set. So, just those 3 guys right there is half this box, not including everything else. So, I just got to break this down real quick, kind of let you know what this thing has. Pretty much with this, it'll actually give the ability to play a game of 40k with them. You could probably put them both together in one army list if you wanted to. It'd be kind of funny since they both hate each other, but hey, that's why this is called Wrath and Rapture, because they are fighting each other. But, demons are demons, so you can always add them together and, start some way. Or, if you find somebody, you could split the box. So you can split 2 boxes and have everything for like a Khorne army and everything for pretty much a Slaanesh army. That'd be the way I would probably go about it if you're going to do that. Like I said, they're probably going to be add-ons. In my opinion, I think this is Games Workshop's way of kind of telling you what the next 2 40k codexes are going to come out when it comes to Chaos Space Marines. I think you're going to see a World Eater and a Emperor's Children / Noise Marine codex coming out. They're kind of combining the demons in with the regular Space Marines like they did with Death Guard and Thousand Suns. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be what they're going to do. They'll probably do the same thing, like like the Greater Demons won't be in there, Heralds won't be in there, and guys like this won't be in there, or the Slaanesh one. His rules are pretty good. If you look at his stats, I'm going to bring him up, try to get out of that light there a little bit. Everything's good, except for I do hate the fact that they only have a 5-up invul save. It's okay. His stats, he's really quick. He's probably going to be in hand-to-hand pretty fast. He does have a cool ability where if you pick you can pick an enemy character at the beginning of the game, you get to add 1 to your hit and wound rolls against that character, which is nice. So Strength 5 gives you a huge advantage. You can be wounding a lot of stuff on 3 or better, then becomes anything but a 1. You have a 1 skill of 2, so I'm not really thinking that's going to be a big issue with the whole, to hit factor, unless there's like a -1 to hit him or something, like if you pick Belial for the Dark Angels. He always has a -1 if you pick him for his sword ability, so that would definitely put you right back on it. The one thing I really like about all of his things is this rule, which talks about the ability to deny 2 psychic powers in the enemy psychic phase. So that's pretty big, because you're Khorne, so you don't use psychics. Khorne themselves get this really cool rule, Unstoppable Ferocity. What it does is it gives you a +1 attack and a +1 strength when you do charge. So then it becomes to a point where you're really hammering down on somebody. Depending on what kind of army you're going to play against, depends on what kind of HQ choice you would pick. If playing like Ultramarine, or you're playing against an Ultramarine player and he's got Rebutic Element, you might want to see if he's got a different HQ choice, because even though you do 2 wounds a turn, if you do get through, he does have a 3-up invul save. He does have 9 wounds, and he is pretty tanky. He is toughness 6. So a lot of all this stuff about this extra hitting would be nice, but the fact that you're only going to be doing 2 wounds to him, you might do a couple wounds, and then you're just going to get annihilated when he decides to swing back at you. Mostly because he's doing a flat 3 with either one of his weapons, and if he goes with the Sword of the Emperor, the Flaming Sword, you could take mortal wounds right off the bat, which is pretty nasty. Bloodletters rules didn't change from the Codex if you own it. Blood Crushers didn't change. Neither did the Flesh Hounds. They're all pretty much the same, and they pretty much all have the same rules. The Slaanesh Herald, I don't know. I mean, it's an HQ choice. I'm going to go with that. I would probably always take a Demon Prince for the primary HQ choice when it comes to any demon army. They give you, they can't be targeted if you give other units because of their own characteristics. They're pretty tough, and they're a lot better than something like this. But this would be an okay secondary one. If you're running like a battalion attachment and you do 2 HQs, pretty cheap. I think the power level and the point level for these 2 guys is really close. You get more bang for your buck out of Khorne. Demonettes are the same rules, Seekers the same rules, but let's get to the Fiends, because that's kind of the big one that the reason I decided to actually keep all the Slaanesh models in this box set. Because I was like, yeah, with these guys, I would actually probably play them. 14-inch move, 3-up weapon skill, strength 4, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 7, 6-up, armor save. Well, they got a 5-up invul save. Their weapon is only -1. But you do have 4 attacks with it, and it does a flat 2. And if you roll a 6, it becomes AP4. So now all of a sudden, if you run into Terminators without, Thunder Hammers and Storm Shields, it goes right to their invul save if you roll a 6. Otherwise, they just go with the regular armor save. But the fact that they do 2 wounds means that they're auto-killing them if they go through, which is really nice. Another good thing with these guys is running into just standard Primaris Interceptors and stuff like that, because it does kill them each time one goes through. versus multiples. Any model can make a single attack with this weapon each fight phase. This isn't too bad. The barbed tail, -3, die 3 wounds is pretty good. One of the other cool things they do have, which I do like, is any enemy psyker within 12 inches of any model with this ability must subtract 1 from the result of their psychic test they take. That's huge. I mean, that actually makes it also where smite's not like a guarantee to go off, or something like the one Space Marine psychic power that removes invul saves within enemies within 3 inches. All of a sudden, instead of that going off on a 7, it goes off on an 8. So really high probability. Sorry about the stuffy nose. Long night with the kids. Enemies within 1 inch of any model with this ability cannot fall back unless they can fly. This is also huge, especially playing against Ultramarines, because with their chapter tactic, they get to fall back and shoot. Well, now they can't. So now you can really tie them up and get them in. They are pretty expensive for power level. They're 2 each. So they're not cheap in any means. So that's 6 points for a squad of 3 of them. Or you can take 3 one-man squads and send them that way. The nice thing is if this unit contains 8 additional fiends, power level 2 each model, this model can at least, if this unit contains at least 3 models, 1 fiend may be upgraded to a Blissus Bringer. You get the extra attack. That's pretty much what you're getting for that extra guy. Probably going to be worth it when you look at the points. Power level, it's obviously worth it because it's just free to upgrade them that way. It does go over some additional game rules and missions that you can play with. It goes over some of the goofy stratagems that you can have with them versus just using the codex themselves. We're just going to kind of flip through that. Just kind of goes through all the different missions you can play, board setup, stuff like that. And I wanted to kind of get to this part where it talks about the points. I keep hitting my camera here. So as you can see, everything is still the same points that you see in the codex. The thing, like I said, the biggest thing you're going to see, I think is pretty funny, is that the fiends are only 3 points more than a blood crusher. But if you look at the power level on these guys, do you think is it worth it? So to go back to them, it's 8 points. Well, wait a minute. That means that the blood crushers for power is actually more expensive than, I can't get to the page, than the fiends. The fiends are only 6, but as points go, the blood crushers are actually more points, or less points. So in this case, you'd probably want to play points in a game if you're going against somebody. It's something I've kind of been seeing a lot lately with this. But everything else is still pretty much the exact same points in the codex or the chapter approved. So no changes there. The box set, like I said, is just loaded with models. You get all the different bases, you get all the different markers, which is all pretty unique. Like I said, I'll do a video where I do I'm going to show you guys not how to do a perfectionist paint job on these guys, but more or less a tabletop playing way of painting them. That way you have more time playing and less time painting and assembly. One of my things I do enjoy is actually assembling guys more than sometimes painting them, depending on the color scheme. Some color schemes are real easy to do. I just say my blood crushers will probably be only 3 colors besides their swords, which is just going to be red, black, and bronze. That's really what their colors are. Like I say, go ahead and leave comments in the video at the bottom. Subscribe to our channel. We're going to be doing a lot more when it comes to battle reports. Like I say, I'll do different painting things. I'll probably also go over some other different box sets I've recently purchased, just so you guys can kind of see the differences in them, what I'm going to use them for, how I'm going to put them together, and stuff like that. But again, thanks for watching, and you guys have a great day, and good luck gaming.